This is FM Gold channel of All India Radio Delhi. With Indian cricket team achieving great feats, we now bring you a talk in lighter vein by Madhulika Liddle, and the topic is Cricket as a Religion.
There's been quite a lot of activity in the world of cricket recently. India's been playing very well. After all, it's not every day that we can claim to have soundly won a test series, and there have been some major upheavals in the team. The old guard is giving way to younger players, and Indian cricket on the whole is on the upswing. So I thought it's time to take a closer look at this sport, especially in terms of what it means for us Indians. Players of other sports constantly crib that nobody cares about them. Here, it's only cricket all the way. And it's not even fair, they say. It's not as if our cricketers are perennial heroes. It isn't as if they're winning matches and tournaments all through the year. It isn't even as if the entire world plays cricket. Merely a handful of nations. What's more, people gripe that cricketers spend more time and effort endorsing products for high-paying advertising campaigns than actually playing cricket. And fans? You'd think fans would remain loyal and steadfast through it all. But no way. Indian fans are fair weather fans, happy only as long as there's a wicket in every over when India's fielding and 6 boundaries per over when we are batting. I'm feeling positively sorry for the men in blue. It's a battle for them, and uphill all the way. Completely unfair. This sport, and in a country like ours, deserves much more attention than it's getting right now, and it's time it got its due. Let's just examine the basics. Look at how the government treats cricket. It's not even the national sport. Come on, how fair is that? Maybe way back half a century or more ago, when hockey greats like Dhyan Chand brought India the Olympic gold year after year, it made sense to elevate hockey to the status of national sport. But how about June 1983, when Kapil Dev and his men got us the World Cup in cricket? Shouldn't June 25th have been declared a national holiday for all posterity? Shouldn't the team have been elevated to demigods? Shouldn't cricket have immediately been promoted to national sport? Actually, I'm thinking the government should be doing much more for cricket than merely promoting it to national sport. Maybe we need to promote it to something even higher, more exalted and worthy of respect. How about designating cricket a religion? That would be so much in keeping with India's image as a secular country. Our constitution can also list cricket as a valid religion. As it is, cricket has enough followers across the country. Millions, if TV ratings are to be believed. And unlike the sometimes mysterious and little-known rituals and ceremonies of our more traditional religions, cricket's every little nuance is known to each of its devotees. For example, everybody, even someone who's simply an armchair cricketer, knows that the core tenet of the ritual known as fielding is that you spring up in the air, snarl at the opposing team's batsman, and shriek "How's at?" at the umpire. This is a given, irrespective of whether or not the ball came anywhere close to the stumps. It is also an example of the touching faith that underlies cricket. A faith that, despite the evidence of one's own senses, believes fervently that miracles will happen. What is that if it's not religion? This deep and steadfast belief in miracles is the same faith that makes a captain send out a bowler to open the batting, or a batsman to bowl, in the hope that one of these men, actually a demigod in human form, will work a miracle. Maybe someday this faith will be vindicated. Maybe someday our batsmen will all bowl like Brett Lee or Muttaiya Muralidharan. And maybe someday each of our bowlers will be another Tendulkar or Lara. Till then, this faith is just the foundation of the religion that is cricket. And as I was saying, there are rituals. As a bowler, you need to know the ritual that must be followed every time you bowl a wide or a no ball. Close your eyes, grimace, pound the air with your fists. If this is the second or the third time in an over that you've bowled an extra, crumple up, head touching the knees. When you straighten, walk to the center of the pitch and examine it carefully. Kneel down, rub the ground a bit, and then go off to confer with your captain on changing field placements. A similar ritual is followed if, as a bowler, you are hit all over the ground. 2 consecutive boundaries from the batsman, and you can do the pitch rubbing ritual, the knee hugging ritual, and the glowering and grimacing that traditionally accompanies these. The good thing about this particular situation, however, is that you get the chance to involve others in your ritual. In this case, you have the added freedom of being able to glare pointedly at your teammates, particularly anyone who's standing on the boundary and appears to have been spending most of his time signing autographs for fans in the stands. For a hapless fielder who drops a catch or otherwise bungles, The chance to change condemnation into sympathy is all part of a time-tested ritual. All you do is to hit the ground as part of your tumble or fumble, and then, when you realize you've messed it up, simply curl into a ball and indulge in contortions that will bring everybody, including team doctor, coach, and physiotherapist, out on the field. If you can grunt convincingly enough to have all your teammates gather around, then so much the better. All of these tactics will hopefully divert public attention from your fiasco and will result in you spending the rest of the innings guzzling Gatorade while sitting in the air-conditioned comfort of the pavilion, while your colleagues sweat it out. And you'll be getting your match fees, mind you, without having to move too much. Just as there are rituals for bowlers and fielders, so too there are rituals for batsmen. These include rituals on how to adjust a pad or a box, or how to signal to your partner that you're too tired to run anymore, but would like to hand over strike anyway. And, these are a dime a dozen, rituals on how to rattle the opposing team. Foremost among these is the practice of waiting till just before the bowler lets go of the ball, and to then indicate that there's distracting movement near the side screen. This will hopefully hold up play, make everybody, players, umpires and spectators, wonder what's up. By the time things get sorted out, the bowler will probably have gone off his stride. There are other rituals too, like getting the wicketkeeper to lace your shoes or straighten your pads, discussing the weather and the likelihood of rain with the umpire, or asking for a new bat just when a bowler is beginning to find his form. As in any proper religion, cricket is based not just on faith and rituals, but also has its own religious books, its places of worship, its chief priests and its pantheon of deities who must be revered. Duckworth Lewis is not exactly the cricketing world's equivalent of the Ten Commandments, but it's close enough. It has enough rules and regulations, down to how long and how hard it must rain for a match to be declared washed out. And places of worship, there's no ignoring them. Lords may be the Mecca of cricket, the ultimate pilgrimage for the fervent devotee. But even within India, there are the must-do sites. These are the places where, if you're an aspiring cricketer or cricket freak, you just have to go, even if you can barely see what's happening on the field. Eden Gardens, Wankhede, Chepauk. And as for priests, cricket has them by the dozen. In fact, not even by the dozen, by the 100. The novices, the ones who are just being inducted into the intricacies and nuances of the faith, are the ones who have managed to make it to the Ranji Trophy teams. One step up come the ordained priests, the lucky few selected to play for the country. Of these, some, often by sheer dint of hanging around long enough, creep up the ladder and make it to vice captain and captain, two closely related levels of high priest. Beyond that lie further ranks. Call them whatever, the men whose word is law, whether they're standing on the pitch and umpiring, or sitting in the commentary box and remembering their own good old days. Cricket, interestingly enough, is a unique religion, in that as time passes, sins automatically get converted to virtues. No ex-cricketer ever admits to errors. In their time, they were all of them, without exception, unsurpassed, unmatched. Never did they tamper with a ball, have a quarrel with a player from an opposing team, or make faces at an umpire behind his back. High above the rank and file is the pantheon of gods. These are the supreme beings to whose level even our chief priests aspire. These are the Bradman and Sobers category, the super beings who can do no wrong. And like any deity, these command the love and respect of everybody, whether novice, priest, or devotee spectator. Yes, the more I think of it, the more I'm convinced. It's high time the Indian government declared cricket a religion. The sport has all the makings of a religion, and a highly popular one at that. It's well organized. It has its rituals and traditions, its festive days, and its holy books. It even has a governing body, like any religious body worth its salt, appears to have endless funds to dip into to host yet another occasion that will draw devotees by the thousands and convert maybe a few hundred more. Yes, the BCCI can give all the major religious bodies a run for their money. And really, if you think about it, making cricket a religion can, in the long run, be beneficial for India as a country. Most of the communal problems would immediately disappear. After all, just about everybody would belong to the same religion, right?
You just heard a talk in a lighter vein by Madhulika Liddle on the topic cricket as a religion. We hope you enjoyed this light banter. This broadcast came to you on the FM Gold channel of All India Radio Delhi.